What's up, YouTube? Hope to do this in one take, but just gonna go over some things I've been working on and some sidetracked tangents that I've gone through. So, currently working on a video right now where I go over my top 5 favorite local TTS systems. And I was training XTTS with AllTalk TTS, and well, let's just say that when I was doing the dataset curation, it wasn't producing audio samples that I quite desired, and we'll take a listen to why. So let's take a listen to this first sample right here. I'm currently training a voice on Melina from Elden Ring. We'll take a listen to this first voice.
Don't worry, Tom.
All right, and as you can hear in that segment, it gets cut off at the end. So for me, I ended up going on a tangent and created my own dataset maker so that it sounds better, kind of like this.
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on her side.
So as you can tell, there's no clipping at the end there. And I have seen this issue with some other approaches that I've done before, and I believe AllTalk TTS is using whisper and whisper timings in order to do this segmentation for these audio samples, and I've used that in the past. That's actually how I do all of my dataset curation in previous repositories, and that's one big issue that I found is relying on the timings of whisper can be a little problematic depending on your dataset. And so that's one issue. And then the other issue is if you already have a pre-split data set, say for example on this left-hand side here, I've got a bunch of audio segments that are pre-split. How do I transcribe all of those in an efficient manner so that I can have a train.txt file kind of like this? What you normally do is you just transcribe each segment one by one, and that takes a long time. And so I didn't like that, and I haven't had time to come up with a solution until now, so I did. And the concept behind my solution is using a silence detector script like this Slicer 2 in order to segment a long form audio into segments. And as you can tell from the audio sample list we listened to a little bit earlier, there was no clipping at the end. And this Slicer script does a very good job at making sure to cut out all of the silence so that you get great sounding segments. And then if you use something like UVR, well, you need to use something like UVR to isolate the vocals in order to use this. It comes out fantastic. And so this resolves that whole clipping error at the end. But the only issue now is the transcription speed. And what ends up happening is you have to use something like this sequential script that transcribes each segment one by one, and that takes a little bit of time, takes a long time. And so the solution I came up with ends up just stitching all of those segments together with a defined silence between each segment, so I can control the silence between each segment. And then what I use are the timings of whisper to kind of give me an estimate on where the audio segment is in that stitched piece, to then assign the transcription to the segment. And so I do that in this script here, and what it ends up creating is a train script that is much, well, it gives me a train.txt, which I'm able to train models on in a very accurate fashion. And it also allows me to use those nice sounding segments. So that resolves the efficiency issue of having to do it sequentially on little segments. And then that also resolves that, that clipping issue with whisper. And so with that, I have like a nice little Gradio interface that I can create a data set with. Where is that? Here we go. So I can create a nice little data set with this whisper script here. And then I can correct the transcription. This is actually just another tangent that I went on. I was wondering how the heck can I correct transcriptions for audiobooks? Because if you notice with whisper, if you use it, it takes away quotations or doesn't use quotation marks when it's doing transcriptions. And I'd say those are quite important for audiobook transcriptions. This corrects it by using DeepSeek R1 32B Quen distilled, and it works pretty well. I don't have a sample because I deleted it, unfortunately, but this corrects that, and that does should make training on audiobooks a little bit better, a little bit more accurate. And then I've got this, just this adjust train.txt file just to adjust the text file to kind of like the format of what some of these repositories require. Like some repositories require that you have path transcription, then speaker ID. Things like Tortoise just require path, then transcription. And XTTS, which I was training, requires that you have the path transcription and then speaker ID. So that was the tangent that I went on to, kind of work on this video. And I was able to train a XTTS model on that. So we can take a listen to one of the samples from it, model loaded, and then just inference on this Melina text or this Melina reference speech / model. And here we can take a listen to the sample.
I've just fine-tuned a text-to-speech language model, and this is how it sounds. If it doesn't sound right, I will try a different speaker reference audio file.
Okay, so there you go. There is the XTTS output from it. So as expected, I think XTTS / Tortoise, I think they're still great models. I don't think they're the best to use at the current moment, but the advantage that something like XTTS has is it's multilingual. So that is one advantage that it still has over several different models. But if we pipeline this into like RVC, it'll sound fantastic. So yeah, currently doing that. And that pretty much took up my week just because I was making this separate dataset maker and playing around with DeepSeek R1. I personally think DeepSeek R1 is awesome. The fact that we can run a local thinking model is crazy. So I can do that on my computer. I'll be making a follow-up video on how you can run, or how I was able to run the 1.5 I think quantized model on my computer with my 4090 and then some RAM. So I'll be making a video on DeepSeek sometime in the future, and then going over that and just some little things that I've been working on with DeepSeek R1 because I think it's pretty cool. Now what else did I want to go over? Yeah, StyleTTS is going to be in that text-to-speech video I talk about. I personally like StyleTTS quite a bit. It's fast, sounds good. Here's a sample output.
He didn't say any more, but we've always been unusually communicative.
All right, we'll stop it there. So StyleTTS always sounds pretty good in my opinion. I need to come with some other voices to test out other than Melina. So currently working on curating a different data set with some other voices. And then the other thing is like GPT-SoVITS. No spoiler or anything, but I really, really like GPT-SoVITS. It probably has, I'd say, the fastest inference speed for the most quality. And the quality that I'm talking about here is kind of like conversational speech / dialogue. I think it's the best model that has dialogue or the closest sounding dialogue model out there. And we can take a listen to this sample. This is the inference text here. Here we go.
Huh? What do you mean it's easy? We almost died back there.
So you can have kind of like these, I don't know what they call them, like interjections, or these like ha-has, and you got laughter. You can do like sighs, do like phew, inference there.
What do you mean it's easy? We almost died back there.
Let me restart inference for that.
Whoa. What do you mean it's easy? We almost died back there.
All right, so not quite getting the expression that I want, so I'll have to use a different audio sample. Uploaded a different audio sample to try out.
Oh, what do you mean it's easy? We almost died back there.
So almost had it there. We'll try one more generation.
What do you mean it's easy? We almost died back there.
So it kind of has the who there. And currently still working on fine-tuning some models in GPT-SoVITS to kind of have more natural expression. But it's the only one that's able to do these little extra parts of speech.
What do you mean it's easy? We almost died back there.
And I haven't found a model that can do that. So yeah, expect a video with some follow-ups on these things. I'll be uploading that new dataset maker to GitHub once I flesh it out and finish it up. And then, yeah, I think that'll be pretty much it. So yeah, nothing too formal in today's video, and just going over some updates, and I'll see you guys later.